Here.
Mr. Pedrosino.
Here.
Mr. Rappaport.
Here.
Ms. Zuckerman. Here. Dr. Mongraf.
Here.
Mr. Brookhauser.
Here.
Ms. Patel. Here.
Pledge allegiance, please.
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provision of the Act, the Montville Township Board of Education provided a public notice of this meeting, which included the time, date, and location that was posted at the Montville Township Municipal Building, all Montville Public Schools, the Montville Public Library, the Montville Township Board of Education Administrative Office Building, the district website, and advertised in the Daily Record and the Montville Tap Into, the board's official newspapers on January 28, 2024.
High school student representative.
Hello everyone, I hope everyone's doing well. So I'm going to start off with the past, and I'm going to start off with sports actually. So all of the winter sports have begun their seasons. The varsity boys and girls swim have a combined record of 1-3. Varsity ice hockey has a record of 2-2. Varsity bowling has also started, and they have a record of 2-2. Boys and girls varsity basketball have also begun, and the boys have their home opener tonight versus Mount Olive, and the girls have their first game tonight as well against Chatham. So moving on to the school-related subjects, starting off with the week of November 20th, it was the Key Club food drive, and our school totaled 1,854 goods to be donated. The Cultural Diversity Club held their International Dessert Contest on the 21st of November. The top three are the following. First place, Natalie Beaton. Second place, Amy Zhang. And third place went to Nicole London. There was a spring baseball interest meeting on Thursday as well in the cafeteria after school. It was presented that the winter training schedule and different expectations from now until the season. The Montville Theater Company had singing auditions for its spring musical Big Fish on the 22nd. From the 26th of November to the 10th of December, there was a toy drive throughout the school for local families in need. The senior banquet was Friday the 6th of December at Il Tulipano. The night started at 6 and ended around 9:45. It was full of dancing, socializing, and food for all. Last week, the MTHS Music Department had their winter concert. During the day, on Monday, they performed an in-school concert, and on Tuesday, after school, was the full concert. Key Club had a general membership meeting on December 10th. On the 12th, Golf had their first interest meeting for the spring as well. Lastly, the Mental Health Initiative had a meeting December 13th during both halves of lunch in the Media Center classroom. Special guests Janice and her therapy dog, Cole, visited from Bright and Beautiful Therapy Dogs to talk about the process of certifying a therapy dog and how they work in our community to promote mental health and wellness. Now to the president.
So currently the entire high school is participating in the Winter Spirit Week. The themes have been and are, for Monday it was Pajama Day, today was Flannel Day, tomorrow is Winter Wear Wednesday, Thursday is Sweater Weather, and Friday is a color board, with the freshmen wearing green, sophomores wearing red, juniors wearing blue, and seniors wearing white. Today also marks the middle of the second marking period. Tomorrow, Wednesday, December 18th, the anatomy classes will be going on their annual field trip to the Rutgers Cadaver Lab. At the end of the Spirit Week this Friday will be the Winter Pep Rally. There will be many different events, including Castle Ball and Family Feud. Both students and teachers will participate. On January 14th, the annual Chinese New Year Showcase will be held in the cafeteria from 6 to 8 p.m. The whole school is looking forward to winter break starting after the half day on Friday. We would also like to wish all of you a wonderful holiday season. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, and I know about the whole Spirit Week. My daughter bought the most hideous Christmas sweater I've ever seen. So good luck and have fun with that. Okay, so we're going to go on to the superintendent's reports? Okay, how about the presentations? Valerie, you want to come first?
Good evening, board members, parents, Valley View students. Nice to see you out there. Today we have a very special presentation. At Valley View we have a 5th grade safety patrol team. There's actually 3 5th grade homerooms, so each homeroom does a marking period. So what you see in front of you are Miss Olchek's children. They did the first marking period for safety patrol. So safety patrol is something that is very special to Valley View, and I would like to turn it over to them. I want to wish everyone a wonderful holiday. And so please enjoy a little description of what safety patrol is under the theme of a reindeer. I want you guys as loud as you are in the lunchroom.
You want to grab the mic, maybe? Yeah, that's better. Secretary, you grab the mic.
Okay.
Forward.
Okay, so over here. We'll do backwards. Okay, so let's just get We're just testing everyone. Okay.
I would like to introduce the first round of Safety Patrol members from 5th grade. My classmates and I volunteer to help at arrival and dismissal times every day. Our job is to include logging in the times the buses and vans arrive in the morning, standing outside to monitor children boarding the buses and vans, and encouraging riders to buckle up and practice safety and respect when riding. The team is here to share with you their presentation to our kindergarten classes and on how we inspire to be like a reindeer.
Remember those names. Then he could be someone to sit with or talk to on the bus or at lunch.
E equals everyone matters, everyone counts. Everyone has feelings just like you and me. I equals invite, include, encourage. Friends are like a friend's friends. One is good, one is bad. Notice the little things. Take a moment to recognize the goodness in others.
D equals do something great when no one is looking. Opportunities are always here to give money.
E, evaluate others with kindness. Use your kindness superpowers to help someone in need.
E, embrace differences. Our similarities unite us and our differences enriches our lives.
R, respond with respect. Got a disagreement? Don't make it worse. Talk to others in a way that brings peaceful and
I'm the plural, filling in for Adriana. Thank you to Dr. Gorman and the Board of Education members for inviting us, and thank you to our parents for driving us. We have one more thing to share. Being a safety patrol member means thinking about ways to practice being safe, as we are going to remind all our parents when their car wipers are on, so should their headlights be too. You can also learn a lot from a child too. On behalf of my team, we wish you all a happy holidays and a wonderful new year. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very, very much.
We love the festive costumes, the headgear. Thank you so much for sharing that, and the safety tips. So thank you again, Valley View, for everything you do for us.
Wishing everyone a very safe, joyous holidays.
Thank you. Yeah, everybody had to go back in 6th grade, 5th grade, yeah, Steve.
Steve Club.
Talia, come on up.
Steve Club.
way to, you going to talk about Steve Fuller General first? That's fine. And just get close to the mic.
we have a shift at State Club to encourage membership, where 8th graders are helping support 6th graders, and 7th graders are in a club. So we decided to create groups where no one is left out, and coordinate these projects for the year, and everyone just makes lifetime friendships. One of the 6th graders were taken under the wing by all the 8th graders and had a surprise birthday party from them a couple of weeks ago about why they were doing this all the time, which is really sweet to see. And on top of that, they get to help and support each other with problem solving when doing projects. So as my role developed as a mentor, I focused on supporting the students, like showing the logic and reasoning behind the concept through what I learned through my courses in Montville High School, as well as learning, engagement, and involvement. Because it's a peer-to-peer interaction, only just a few years older than these middle schoolers, they get to see themselves in, some of them get to see themselves in a position that I have, where maybe they can one day continue on this thing. And it's good for you to stay learn, that they can learn from people around in their age group, where it's, as a teacher, you expect the students to learn something from you, but from peer-to-peer, you don't really expect that. On top of that, I get to share resources, knowledge, and advice of which I have in middle school, because it's such a prime time for developing who you are as a person and finding your identity where you want to pursue in high school, and moving past that. Mentorship also gave me the confidence to share my knowledge and passion with others. It's also great to see having people look up to me, and taking the skills that I learned and implementing them outside of the classroom. Like medical skills, where I got to meet really cool college professors in astrophysics and write on research with them, as well as leadership and organizing skills, and helping me become a leader in the biggest presentations. I recently started in an executive hackathon in New York City. For those who don't know, it is a game jam where you get to solve different coding challenges and come up with a game for a website at hand. And I held different Python workshops and game character designs, and we implemented Steam into it. And it was a huge success. People were getting from Vermont, Connecticut, all just to be there to create a game. It was such a success. So it's also really important to include statistics. And so according to research, students with STEM mentors are significantly more likely to continue in STEM fields because mentor students show increased engagement, higher retention rates, and greater confidence in pursuing STEM careers because they have someone to believe in them. And on top of that, it's really important for women who want to pursue STEM fields because it's male dominated. So women earn nearly 50% of STEM bachelor degrees, but only make up only 35% of the workforce, because of the peer leadership roles, because they may feel marginalized or feel undervalued. Mentorship, created by 70% of women, career success, boosts confidence, and empowered around 87% of participants in the study. So, as a district, it's important to open up more channels for mentorship, regardless of the subject, allowing students to explore their interests, gain valuable insights, and develop skills that will prepare them for the future, academic and professional success. Thank you so much.
That was wonderful. I really appreciate you sharing that. I know some of these topics are very near and dear to Ms. Woodring's heart. So that was incredible what you were sharing. It was so great. I've seen you do the STEAM Day at Lazar. It's been wonderful. And seeing the kids interact with each other, and you're exposing them to this at an earlier age, it's been wonderful. We've really built up our STEM and STEAM programs in the middle school and the high school, and including at the elementary, trying to build all the way through. So this is wonderful seeing, and how you were mentioning the younger kids. And I want to thank Ms. Wardell and Mr. Wayne for doing all this. Really appreciate their leadership in this. So thank you.
Thank you so much for giving this opportunity.
If Karen, look at it.
no report.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we'll move on to liaisons and committee reports. Karen, Finance Committee.
Okay. So the Finance Committee met just prior to our meeting tonight. We discussed the 2024-2025 financial position of the district, which is healthy. We also talked about our ongoing construction projects as well as looking forward to the future for a 3 to 5 year plan. We discussed elementary enrollment for 25-26, and we'll be looking at our goals for 25-26 as well as a budget timeline.
Thank you. Michelle, curriculum.
The Curriculum Committee met last week on December 11th. We had a long and productive meeting. We spoke about the MTHS midterm schedule. The high school is going to again observe half-day schedules for midterm and final exams. And the courses that require dedicated midterm and final exam are those that are tied to standard assessment. We talked extensively, about the Mandarin program, and Dr. Gorman had asked us to consider pros and cons of several options, including where we ended up recommending as a committee and as a board keep maintaining the Mandarin program all the way down to not having it due to low enrollment. And ultimately, it was a really productive discussion talking about reasons for keeping it, and we decided to do that at the current time. We also talked about world language, the rotation schedule in Lazar, about the benefits of having language for all 3 years, and that is something that research and has backed up that it could be very effective for our students, so that's something that's being considered. And we also reviewed next year's high school program of studies, and as we always do, and it was a very productive discussion there as well.
Okay. Joe, policy.
No report.
Okay. Mike, report. Communications.
No report.
Christine, safety.
No report.
No ad hocs. The liaison to the school boards. Karen.
Okay, thank you, David. First, I would like to take a moment to congratulate one of our board members. Joe Daughtry has become an alternate delegate as a member of the board of directors. That happened just a couple of weeks ago. So just want to congratulate you, Joe, and look forward to seeing you in Trenton. We had our delegate assembly on December 7th. We discussed a number of resolutions, and several passed. The resolutions are items that guide our advocacy. So we were happy to see that people are remaining engaged and looking to advocate for what they believe. There was also a legislative committee on December 14th. We were fortunate to have with us that day 2 of our assembly people, Assemblywoman Carmen Teresa Morales and Assemblywoman Lisa Swain. Assemblywoman Carmen Teresa Morales is an educator. Both women are very committed to education and are advocates for us. There was a lot of discussion about various bills that have been passed and signed and bills that are pending. But for now, we'll skip that since we have a very busy agenda, but I'd be happy to talk to anyone interested. And that concludes my report.
Okay, Michelle, Morris County.
The meeting was held on December 4th. It was a hybrid meeting. The topic was on creating an effective board culture, focusing on governance, collaboration, and mentorship. And there was a lot of effective discussion and presentations on those topics. And the next meeting is on February 5th. It will be virtual. And the topic is advocacy, equity and access, and removing academic barriers.
Joe, Morris County Education Services.
We met last week, just so the auditors are in the process of completing their annual comprehensive financial report. And next month, the board of directors will meet to approve the new
raised for the services for 24-25.
And Drug Awareness Council.
And then on December 5th, we received supplemental grant funding from the state, which is around $3,000, which will be used for community awareness programs and supplies.
Thank you. Charlie, anything from Montville Athletic Boosters?
The group has not met that we meeting as soon as the first of the year is over.
Okay. Karen, liaison Cedar Hill.
No report, they'll be meeting in January.
Charlie, Hildale.
No report.
Joe, Valerie, anything?
Yeah, the new playground construction is finished. The students are very excited to use it. And also they raised around $40,000 from the tree tray. That was done in the
Okay. John, what do you mention? Mike Palmer, Woodlawn.
Haven't met since the last meeting, but I did want to just briefly touch on one thing I forgot to mention at the last meeting, and that's enrollment, that as a result of the new construction that's coming into Montville, Woodlawn's numbers right now, as a couple of weeks ago, were up 60 from last year, and that's not an insignificant number, so just saying it's important, something I think we need to keep an eye on to make sure it doesn't get totally out of control is a concern.
That is concerning, we are watching that. Christine or Michelle Lazar?
I attended the meeting on December 2nd. The administration, principals and assistant principals gave their reports and updates. The PTC, as usual, talked about the wonderful things they're doing, from their holiday raffle and book fair, trying to donate, water bottle fundraiser. There were questions about the management program that have since been addressed. And I'm looking forward to the next meeting on March 10th.
Okay, and my report, high school?
No.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so now we're going to the public participation section of this. I would invite anyone who wants to speak on any item on the agenda or not, or even off the agenda to come up now. I'd like to reserve the second public portion. Send off Charlie. So if you have any comments about anything on the agenda or off the agenda that you'd like to address the board, please come to the microphone. Your name, address.
My name's Ying, address 7 Boyertown Road. I know we're going to discuss the mentoring program in detail at the next meeting, but I just want to come up and say a huge thank you to Mr. Foreman and his team for meeting with us to address our concerns. And really just wanted to give a huge thank you to the whole board for reinstating the mentoring program. And we'll definitely come back at the next board meeting. We really wanted to make sure we help the school district and the board and also the community to boost and maintain their enrollment so that we don't run into similar situations like here. Thank you.
With that, seeing no one else, I ask for a motion for items I through N.
So moved.
Second. Thank you. Any questions on the minutes? Section I. J, yes. K, facilities finance. L, personnel. N, curriculum. Nothing on policy. Roll call vote, please. Oh, sorry.
Just real quick with the rest, we have 2 retirements. So we have Mr. Joe William, who's here this evening. He has taught at the Montville Public Schools for 20 years. During this time at the Czar, he taught both computers and technology education classes. He is a STEAM club advisor, and as such, organized a very successful STEAM day at the Czar, as you just heard about this evening. We wish him well in retirement. We also have, after nearly 27 years at the high school, Cheryl Perlin, and she's left a mark through her dedication to teaching creative writing, English 10, and advising the Muse Literary Magazine. Her passion for helping young people discover their potential and her commitment to highlighting their accomplishments have touched countless lives. Cheryl's legacy and nurturing creativity and championing student voices will continue to resonate for years to come. We wish them both well in retirement.
Yes. Okay, slide. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Grau.
Yes.
Mr. Daughtry.
Yes, abstain on table 1, check 9908.
Dr. Cordino. Yes. Mrs. Phantom.
Yes, abstain, section 1, I minutes.
Mr. Palmer.
Yes.
Mr. Petrosino.
Yes.
Mr. Rappaport?
Yes.
Ms. Zuckerman? Dr. Mondra?
Yes. Okay, and with that, we get to the highlight of the evening. So with that, I will ask Karen, will you please lead us?
I sure will. Tonight we celebrate a very special guy. Someone who wanted no fanfare, no plaques, no celebration. Tonight is not that night. We invited a few of your friends and colleagues to say some words to acknowledge your 30 years of service. They're here tonight, and I'm going to start off before we move to anyone else. Charlie served on the board between 1979 and 1991. And then, after a 15-year hiatus, he joined the board again in 2006. I was elected to the board the same year. I admit, I was skeptical of Charlie. He gave the impression of being the proverbial cigar-smoking politician. But I would soon learn that his burly veneer was just a front for the teddy bear within. Over the years, we developed a mutual respect and friendship. Charlie has been a steady hand. He came to meetings prepared and always had sage advice. His long experience as a business administrator provided our district with valuable insight and direction. He offered good ideas on how we could save money and still maintain academic excellence. He always voted for the benefit of children and never allowed anyone or anything to influence his decisions. Charlie, I will miss you, and the district will certainly miss your leadership. And I wish for you and Mary Kate many years of good health and happiness.
I've known you for 11 years, and I have to say, I was the wrong to be anybody the first kid. Everyone is. But I have come to appreciate your humor and your wit. Yes, you have it. And I have enjoyed our many conversations as you drive around town. I look forward to seeing you out there driving around town. I know you'll be there.
With his window open.
With his window open, smoking the cigars I gave him. But we will miss your institutional knowledge, your intelligence, everything you've committed. I know no one else in town, I think, who has committed so much to this board as you. I will miss you, and I hope that you do come back frequently. Is that I can open up, Mike?
I'll be brief because there's a lot of people out there who are a lot more important than I am to say something. But Charlie, it's been such a pleasure to be with you on the board for these last, close to 20 years now. And anybody in the audience who doesn't know, Charlie, he has a great combination of not only knowledge, but wisdom, that given one of two ways to do things, he'll always find the smartest way to do it. And your contributions will be missed tremendously. You've been such an integral part of this board. You've been the board president for a number of years. And I'd like to say people aren't going to realize how much they miss you until you're gone, but that's not true because we realize it already. Thank you so much for your service, Charlie, and God bless you and Mary Kate in the future. Have a safe and happy future. I'm sure I'll be seeing you.
Hi, Charlie. So there are a few things that we have in common that we love. Your humor, but high school wrestling, and we both like cigars. In all seriousness, you have provided, you were you were the board president when I first started, and you showed me really the love of your family, because I think every single meeting, close to a meeting before that, you would always talk about your family, your grandkids and spending time with them. You always put number one the children of the district. And your common sense approach really would influence all of us. And if sometimes we had different opinions on things, you know, your opinion generally was the one that we went with because of all your experience. But I just will always remember the word, you never said the kids, it was all about the children. And I will always remember that. And you have impacted, I think, all of us in such a profound way. And I appreciate you, and I wish you many years of watching all the kids play sports in town and just enjoying your life with your beautiful wife and family. Thank you.
I can echo everything that was said, so we don't want to be here all night, but I guess a couple of quick things. I remember also you being board president when I came in, and the kind and way with his experience, yeah, understanding, you know, a new board member and what they needed to hear and see, and how you helped new board members navigate for many years. And I think it was really an important thing. I especially really appreciate the last couple of years that I've sat on the finance committee with you, because just seeing your wealth of experience and knowledge and the way you really do look out for the financial responsibility of the district and the children, and have learned to balance it so well in a common sense way, is a true legacy that I think you've left with all of us as we look forward to the board. And thank you for what you've contributed and who you've been to this district.
Charlie, I just want to say thank you so much for all your advice throughout the years of serving on the board. I've known you for many years. Yeah, pretty much. You know, from being at Kiwanis events, you know, all this stuff. Really do appreciate you giving me the opportunity to take your advice and go forward. Thank you.
Charlie, I just want to say thank you. Over the last 3 years, you taught me a lot. I hope to spend a few more years on here, and the things that you on the negotiation side and the facility side, I hope to carry your torch a little bit, and I thank you for everything you've done for the board.
Charlie, I just want to say thank you so much for all of your service. I first met you as an 18 when I joined the board, and like I say, when I first joined the board, it was a little overwhelming, all the issues and items that the board has to take care of. But you were president for the first 5 years I've been on the board, and I think I've learned so much from just how to handle issues, how to handle people, how to just manage the board's business. And I think you did such a wonderful job at it, and teaching all of us how to do it and how to do it really, really well. And I look forward to seeing you drive around town. And I'm walking the dog, and we'll stop and we'll continue to chat and talk business. It'll be a lot of fun. Thank you.
Sorry, I just want to say before, 2.5 years ago, you hired me to lead this district, and I really appreciate that. You've been a friend and a mentor since then. You shared a lot of guidance, a lot of wisdom with me. At times, many times, criticism. But it was always for the good of the district and for the good of my personal growth. And for 30 years, Charlie has led this district and worked with us and put these public schools. We were just talking about how many accomplishments over the years we've done. You can see the growth over all these years, and we're forever grateful. We're going to, your favorite spot at the top of the hill there, we're going to get a real bench, a wooden splintering bench. A heated bench, yes. We're going to dedicate to that to you so you can watch over our graduations, our athletics events, and everything in the future. So thank you for this opportunity.
Charlene, I believe you have something here. Charlie, can you please come down? Charlie.
So Charlie, I just wanted to thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight to honor the 30 years that Charlie has served on your board. We recently at the last Morris County meeting talked about and honored the board members that are leaving their board service, and said out of all of them, when I totaled up their years, it was 300 years that we are losing of experienced board members, and Charlie's 1/10 right out of that whole thing, just him alone. So really just wanted to kind of acknowledge your contributions, but also, thought it was really telling that instead of talking about kind of all the things that the group accomplished when you were here, and even the things that you accomplished, like through the Jersey School Boards, of being a master board member, of your board not only getting certified, but also became a master board, one of only like 40 or 50 boards in the state to accomplish that. What really matters that we've heard here tonight is how you carried out that role. That you carried out that role with grace, you carried out that role with professionalism, you carried it out with dignity, with humor. And I have to say that I've always had the pleasure sitting in the audience, particularly when your students were here, to watch the way that Charlie would go up, reach out to them, shake their hands, and really be proud of what they were accomplishing or demonstrating their accomplishments that night. And also was very supportive of the staff all of the time. So to me, those are the things that really will stick out in me the most. So just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about it. We talked about being a board member, what that means really, and how Charlie really embodies that. So for those of you that are used to seeing me here with training with long PowerPoints, good news, I got one slide. So just wanted to kind of talk about it. Like I said, we're talking about board members, really how this does talk about Charlie. And to Dr. Gorman, I need to apologize to you. You used to be in that picture next to Charlie, but not any longer. So just wanted to, again, talk about the fact that we say the head makes sound decisions, communicates effectively, loves students and advocates for them, reaches out to others, flexible as needed, stands up for public education, that listens to all sides, the provision sees the path ahead, and said the cape is optional, but it comes in handy when a superhero is needed. I want to say, Charlie, for you, I added one more special thing to the slide, stomach, the joy slide. So just wanted to, again, say what a pleasure it has been to be able to work with you in your 30 years as a board member. And see, I did not come in empty-handed as being asked that I did. And so on behalf of New Jersey School Boards, have a plaque that we would like to bestow upon you to honor your 30 years of board service to the students and to the Montville Township community. And so just wanted to thank you.
He told me that too. Just a couple of years ago when I had the first speech at the commencement, he told me that. So I'd like to open this up now to the public. Mr. O'Dowd, would you like to start us off?
Representing the voting public. Is this what you want to do? Unlike the rest of these folks, and I admire them speaking extemporaneously, I have not come without a speech. And with apologies to Dr. Bodrock here for dragging him into this, but to borrow the oft-quoted words of Vice President candidate Lloyd Benston to Dan Boyle, Dr. Bodrock, I know Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown is a friend of mine. You are no Charlie Brown. Thank God for that.
Yes.
As one Charlie Brown per lifetime is enough for anybody. I've known Charlie for over 50 years. In fact, Charlie helped me in my first campaign for public office. Unlike Charlie, I retired from public office while people still like me. In Charlie's case, he stopped working about 45 years ago, but only retired 8 years ago. Over the past 50 years, Charlie has made many friends and admirers. Unfortunately, neither of them could be here tonight. So instead, it's up to us, his cabal, who are paid to be here from Charlie's leftover campaign funds. Leftover because Charlie always sought contributions, but was very frugal in spending them. In fact, he once told me, he said, "Joe, I never want to buy more votes than I need." And he never did. On a serious note, however, Charlie has had a more positive impact on our school system as much as anyone who has served on this board over the last 50 years, and I've known them all. And I see Kathy is right here, who served many years with Charlie. And while he's quick to point out that he goes to conventions and reports later, I went to as many meetings as possible, and I found them all very interesting. Famous last words. The truth is, Charlie knows a lot and adds a lot to anything he participates in. And while admittedly he can be cantankerous at times, did I say that right? Yeah, that's right. He truly does. He does do it for the children, as has been mentioned up here many times. We all owe him and all those who serve a great debt of gratitude for taking on the challenge of public service, especially in the arena of public education, where emotions often run high. And thank yous are few. I think this board's recent experience with the Mandarin language deal will support that thinking. We prepared a montage of sorts that shows the change and growth, or shall we say expansion, of Charlie's effect here in Montville. Please play the montage.
Thank you for that. That was wonderful. Good job, guys. Does anybody else want to come to the microphone? Please, come on up. And
oh, you go. Are you going? Oh.
No microphone.
This song is good.
I don't know. Should I talk to these pictures? Who do I talk to? You? Okay. My dear Charlie, I know you like speeches to be short. You've reminded me of that more times than I care to count. But we also know that there's an exception to that rule, and that is when the speech is all about you. Let's be honest. I know you love it when people talk about you. Remember how you asked me to make sure I gave you plenty of airtime in my speech at my retirement dinner?
No.
Yeah, we did. So, sit back, relax, and indulge in what I'm calling a brief but generous tribute to Charlie Brown. Tonight we gather to mark the end of an era, and what an era it's been. After, I don't know, it feels like 150 years of your service, Charlie Brown, the tough guy, the guy who wears everyone down in negotiations, the guy who came to our Living Lessons program just to have a good breakfast, is finally stepping down from his position on the Board of Education. Now, to be honest, I'm still not entirely convinced that this is real. I pretty much expect that you will change your mind at the last minute just to keep everyone on their toes for just one last time. If you've ever had the pleasure, or most definitely the challenge, of negotiating with Charlie, you know that calling him a hard nut to crack, or any other choice words you might have used, is a bit of an understatement. In fact, I'm fairly certain that there has been a long list of words compiled over the years that were used to describe you after each one of those negotiating sessions. Teachers would walk into a negotiating session brimming with optimism and walk out, okay, I'm going to be nice, and I'll say, a little bit wiser? I don't know. But somehow, amid all the back and forth, I'm sure there was always a sense that you cared deeply about doing what you felt was right for the students and for our community. But tonight, I'd like to offer a slightly different perspective on dear Charlie Brown. For those of you who know him, we know that he can be seen driving through Montville Township daily, and I mean daily, up and down Changebridge Road, cigar smoke wafting out of his car window. As a matter of fact, you need not even turn around to know that it's Charlie Brown. All you have to do is take a deep breath, and then you'll say, I smell cigar smoke. Charlie Brown is around here somewhere. Now, while many know him as a formidable negotiator and unwavering advocate, I've had the good fortune to know another side of him. Let's see. Charlie has teased me unmercifully, and I have to admit that I've given it right back to him. Come on, Charlie. Are you still using that same cup you've been using in your car to dump your cigar ashes? You've had that one, I don't know, decades. I gave you a new one. I know that you never used it.
Yes, I did.
Oh, I'm going to ask his wife about that. But truth be told, you have been a mentor and a supporter to me. And by the way, if you think that Charlie is tough in negotiating, try winning a war of words with him. Spoiler alert, you're going to lose every time. Every single time. But that's the thing about Charlie. You're sharp. Not just sharp-witted, but sharp-minded. You are the person who would call someone out if they weren't prepared. And you'd also be the first to offer advice on how to be better the next time. And somehow, you make people laugh while you're doing it. Your legacy on this board is undeniable. Decisions that seemed impossible became possible because you would never give up. Policies that protected students, supported teachers, and elevated education standards have your fingerprints all over them. And though we've teased each other more times than I can count, I've always known that behind every quip and every raised eyebrow, there was someone who cared, not just about me, but about every single person in this community. So tonight, as we bid farewell to Charlie Brown, And again, I'm using farewell no loosely because I know you're going to be checking in on everybody all over town. Just me, I know. I want to say thank you. Thank you for your grit, your guidance, and yes, your crazy sense of humor. Thank you for always being willing to do the hard things, even when they weren't popular. And thank you for showing us that toughness and kindness are not opposites, they're partners. Charlie, you are irreplaceable, and we're all better for having known you. Enjoy this next chapter. Keep driving the streets of Montville Township, and congratulations on a remarkable career and even more remarkable legacy.
Anyone else like to come up and say a few words to Charlie?
Anybody who's read the Daily Record knows that Board of Education doesn't automatically run smoothly. And that isn't true for Montville. And I think it comes down to leadership. I mean, Charlie brings a certain, just a different approach. He has been an administrator, so he's been on one side of the table for probably, I don't even know, 40 or 50 years. And he's been on the other side of the table as a board member for about 30 years. That's an unusual combination for a board member. But what it brings to the board is leadership. When I first went on the board, and I went to my first meeting, and they were doing the test results from the kids, and they explained that we were really pacing with Mississippi, and we were doing really well because we were like a little bit ahead of Mississippi. And at that point, I had worked with Charlie, and I had said to him, you know what, they really need help because we're better than Mississippi. With that said, he has seen the high school go up, he has seen Valley View go up, he has seen Hilldale go up, he has seen renovations for all of those, and he has seen the town grow. From everything being in Pine Brook to eventually Montville developing, and then eventually Chilocco going from farmland to actual development. So he has a lot of history, and that helps. There is so much that he has done that it is, I can't even explain it because of the fact that it's his 10 or 20 years as board president, he has led this board to the point where our kids are looked at by the rest of Morris County as exceptional. I have been very happy with the negotiations because I live in town and it's really helped from a tax bill point of view. I've had 3 grandchildren go through the district, and some people make a difference and some people don't. He makes a difference, and he'll be sorely missed because the leadership he provides is just fantastic. Good luck.
Charlie, we go back quite a while. I want to share just a couple of my personal memories of what Charlie has meant to me. Way back in 1993, when I was first starting out as Morris County School Business Administrator, it was election time, and I got a phone call from a gentleman, very strange accent, telling me that he was not being allowed to vote, and what could I do about it? And I had no answer, and then I found out it was Charlie Brown, just pulling my chain. You can talk to Charlie, he's pulling pranks on, so many pranks, and they're all really good ones. But you always, I've learned tremendously from your wisdom, your experience. You have enriched me professionally, but what you have shared with me over the years, your heart and your head were always in the right place, balancing what was right for the children and the taxpayers. You just always done the right thing. But I do want to share, and Charlie will remember this. A number of years ago, Charlie was my board president, great board president to work with. We were down in Atlantic City. I was, by myself, and there was an event down Boardwalk, and I went to it, and I've been texting back and forth with Charlie about where we're going to meet the next day. I was also telling my husband where I was, coming back to my room, and I don't know if you've ever had the experience where you're texting back and forth, and suddenly you're texting back to the wrong person. But I did. At the end of that lovely night, I sent this message to Charlie, which he probably still won't ever let me forget. Getting back in my room, going to watch a little of the game, and then fall asleep. Love you, heart. But now I can say, I actually do love Charlie. You're part of our family, and it truly was. If you all remember, during COVID, we weren't allowed to go to basketball games. We all had those little cutouts of ourselves, and when the season was over, we stole Charlie's cutout. He came to Easter dinner with our family. We had him for Father's Day. We hung on to that thing for a little while, taking pictures of it, sending. So Charlie, you have been part of our family. I can see you part of our family. I know the district will experience a tremendous loss when you leave, but I wish you the best, health, happiness, more time with your family, and everything good.
There was a lot of rumors going around about Charlie Brown and a lot of folklore, and I know I was a history teacher for over 50 years, and I do a lot of research. And I was at the Dorinda's house when it was open, and they were questioning whether Charlie Brown negotiated with George Washington. He stayed that night. And the research that I found, none of that's true. But the thing about Andrew Jackson, the thing that we found is that it's possible that he negotiated with Franklin Roosevelt at one time, but that's it.
Charlie, everybody's been too nice to you. So I have two real, true-to-life Charlie Brown stories. First one is we're playing golf. This is about 20 years ago. Very hot day. Charlie starts getting dizzy, starts mumbling. He becomes incoherent. So I weighed down the cart, the drink cart, got him a Gatorade. He pepped right up. And this was before he ran for Board of Education the second time. So all the angst that he's brought for the last 15 years, you could blame it on me. Or it might have been that he just wanted a free drink. The second one is again playing golf. He said, I bet you don't beat me on this hole. And I said, okay, I took the bet. We finished the hole, we tied. I said, I guess I don't owe you any money. He goes, no. You bet that you would beat me. And you didn't. You owe me the bet. I took away two lessons from that day. One is, never bet with Charlie. The second is, nobody ever beats Charlie. especially when it comes to care, concern about the children in Montville and their education. So thank you for 30 years of dedicated service, Charlie.
Is there anyone else? Mr. Mayor?
Speaking as a resident and as a past board member, a couple of stories about Charlie. When I was first elected to Board of Education, the first graduation, Grau comes before Kane, so Charlie and I walked in. I was walking in behind him. And as we walked down the steps from the high school to get to the turf field, everybody's waving and saying hello. And I'm thinking to myself, a new board member, why is everybody saying hello? But of course it was because Charlie was in front of me and the whole town knew Charlie. As we sat there, midway through the opening festivities, Charlie turns to me and says, you know, I'm going to need to get up to break up this pattern. I'm going to go ahead and give a diploma out. And I looked at him as a new board member, and I thought to myself, how could that be? I said, Charlie, you can't do that. And he turned to me and said, I'm going to do it. And as a matter of fact, as you heard Jim say, I'm going to bet you. I'm going to bet you a nice diploma. So sure enough, when the L's came up, Charlie said, I'm going to get up now and go ahead and give out a diploma. And he gets up onto the podium, he looks around and kind of winked and nodded at me. He handed out a diploma to someone with the last name of M. And he comes back and he sits down and said, oh, I'd like a vanilla cone. And as it turns out, of course, it was all pre-arranged and one of his very dear friend's grandsons. But, so I learned as well that you never get with Charlie. Tonight's very much like the movie, It's a Wonderful Life. And it's so well deserved, Charlie, because of all the things you've done for the community and in particular for the schools. Your work on the school board, myself for 9 years, but so many others that were here alongside of you, we all learned from you. And I always said the amount of knowledge that you had in your piggy was more than most of us had entirely. You've done things for this school system and the children of our township that very few have been able to do. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart as a parent, as a resident, for everything you've done for the schools and for the town. Thank you, and I will be harassing you in retirement, so I
Good evening, Charlie. We go back quite some time, and before I came to Montville. And I have to tell you, I've heard so many times this evening about Charlie's devotion to the children, and how many times I've heard that, innumerable times over the years. And as we know, Charlie is a dean of New Jersey's school administrators, school business administrators. He's also a dean of school board members in New Jersey. And he's a character of characters, so you're certainly a dean of characters in this state, Charlie. So I knew this would be an entertaining evening. And I wasn't let down. The people that did those cutouts, that marvelous. And just so entertaining and so fitting. In fact, maybe one should be placed somewhere permanently in this room or one of the other rooms of board meetings. But with that, I want to thank Dr. Corlino for inviting me. I wouldn't miss this for anything. I knew it was going to be entertaining and due the recognition you so richly deserve, Charlie, over the many, many years. It's been an honor to know you. You indeed taught me many things, and best wishes and good luck to you, my good friend.
So everyone realizes Dr. Gary Bowman flew up from Florida just to be here tonight.
Charlie, I had no intention of saying anything, but I feel compelled hearing everybody else talk about it. I first met Charlie in 1980. He was the president of the board when I was a candidate for an administrative position. And I don't know how you've all done it, but I'm still in therapy from that first meeting. Not to mention the 15 years that I worked in the district with Charlie. There was a TV show
called The Naked City that was started out. There are 8 million stories in The Naked City. There's almost that many Charlie Grouse stories. And you know, you haven't lived. I remember living on Clay Road. Our family was in the community for more than 30 years, and we still have a presence with my daughter and her family. And when she was a young child coming into the house saying, "Dad, there's some man in a big car smoking a cigar," I said, "Tell your father to get the hell out of here." "Don't worry, honey, you'll learn. It's okay." You mentioned about Charlie's golf. It just reminded me of the story. I said, "Charlie, why do you always cheat at golf?" And he had a very simple answer. "People expect me to, and I don't want to disappoint them." But the one thing I do want to say is echo all the comments that people made about Charlie's service. I had the privilege of being in Kiwanis with him for many years, being a superintendent for 10 and principal of 5. You can count on Charlie to stand up for kids, to stand up for his community, and he continues to do it today, and I have no doubt he'll continue to do that. So Charlie, we appreciate everything that you do, and will continue to do for Montville.
Excuse me, your name?
Okay, so I'm Addie. I'm a granddaughter of the man of the night. I'm Claire. I'm also a granddaughter. Okay, so I've never been to a meeting before, but I can say after sitting here and listening to everyone talk about Charlie Grau, I wanted to tell you about Cho. Cho is a nickname that was given by my dad after saying, "Does Cho want a dodo?" Since he loved donuts. Cho is the best, one of the best grandfathers ever, considering I have another one, but he is great. I didn't really prepare for this, but he is the best. He's so kind and wonderful, and I love him so much, and yeah, that's practically it. Okay, I just wanted to say something.
I'm not sure what those negotiations you guys are all talking about, but I'm pretty sure that sitting at the Thanksgiving table with him is not much different. No, but seriously, you know, we're all so proud of you, Grandpa, Cho, anything. And, you know, I grew up in the schools. I didn't go to Montville High School, but my sister will, maybe, and I was in the elementary schools and middle schools. And it was an interesting experience, you know, walking in, having my grandfather walk into my 7th grade Spanish class. That was pretty interesting. Or being commemorated in this very room for something I did with Girl Scouts, and having a board member come up to me and say, is Charlie your grandfather? I said, yes. He says, I'm sorry. And I didn't understand that, but I'm not sorry that he's my grandfather. I really appreciate all that he does for me. And one last story is, you know, I went through the school, so I went through 8th grade promotion, and you know, they call my name, and I go up, and you know, he goes in for a hug, and I can only imagine everyone in the room was like, who is this girl, and why is she hugging him? But yeah, we're so proud of you, and we're excited to spend a little more time with you.
Is there anyone else? If not, I would ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Oh.
Now, this is
I almost got it.
This is getting Don't anybody leave. On a serious note, I would really like to thank all of you for coming out tonight and honoring me, if you will. But more importantly, I would like to thank you for, I see so many of you that are former administrators in Montville. I see so many former board members in Montville. I see so many former administrators from other districts that I've worked in. Seen facilities managers from other districts, and even Gary Bowman, who flew in from Florida. He probably got a free ticket, that's right. But I think the thrust of it is a lot of levity tonight, and I would encourage my board friends, my colleagues up here, children in the school where I live. We're here for the children of the whole district. We're here to provide outstanding leadership for them through the administration. We have a responsibility. It's an awesome responsibility. I can remember years ago, people asked me to run for township committee, and I said, no, I'm not interested in how much it costs to repave a road. I want to get in where the children are. And I know Kathy Mozak, she was on the board when I got elected. It took us a couple of years, Kathy, but we were able to straighten things out. And I think from then it was just all uphill. And I think you deserve a lot of the credit. Rich Baza spoke. The board made the mistake twice. Rich Baza, first we hired him as a principal of the middle school. When that didn't peter out, he left. And then the superintendency came open and he applied for that. And he got the superintendency. And we were very, very lucky to have him for several years. I can remember when he was leaving us to go to, I believe it was Berkeley Heights, he made the mistake of having board members from Berkeley Heights talk to me. And afterwards, he said, how do you think I made out? I said, well, they're going to hire you or never talk to you again. Because, you know, but naturally, you got the job. I did a lot of lying that day. I see that, who else is back there? I see Scott Pepper, who hired me 3 times. He's worse than I would be with you, Rich. He hired me 3 times as an interim business administrator over in Hanover. And we had a very excellent professional relationship there, had a lot of fun. And that was a great system at that time, and I don't think it's that great anymore, but since Scott retired. I see other administrators, and I was trying to write everyone's name down, and it was difficult. But I just want to go around a room with Kathy Mozak, the superintendent of Park Ridge. She was also a board member of Montville and interim superintendent of Montville, I believe, right? And then we got Carl Fieser, former Board of Ed member. Spiro, former board member. Rich Baza and his wife Jeannie. Lou Nasty, former board member. We have a very, very special guest, I guess, since Karen's the president of the school boards, she told him to come, he better come. So we have the executive director of the School Boards Association, Tim Purnell. And many of you might know the Purnell name, Tim went through our schools. His mom still lives here. And thank you, Tim, and to you, Rich, for coming up. Lou, I can't see in the back so much. I see Renee and her husband, Pete, thank you so much. And if I miss you, I apologize to Toby Cohen, who's going to be retiring one of these years. I think she's got, what, 51 years now, Toby? And Toby's claim to fame is, I was her high school math teacher. That's
I started my career when I was very young. I owe it all to him.
In the back of the room, we have Barry Quinn, who worked with me in East Hanover, and Bruce, amazing guy. And then all the crazy Hawaiians and their spouses. We got Janie Hines and Pat O'Dowd and Larry and Joe, and then Ron Rochard and Jim Sandham, Chuck O'Neill, who wants to be a Hawaiian, but he's really not a Hawaiian level yet. But he's working on it. And I see Bob Gannon, Lattice was there. I want to thank Charlene coming up from the School Boards Association. Tim, she did an adequate job tonight. You know, she believes in 3 B's. Be brilliant first. Be brilliant, then be gone. Okay? And I would like to thank Matt Kane for his kind words. I think they were kind words, I'm not sure. But Judy, anyone know Judy got? It's Judy. What did you expect? But thank you, Judy. And you are right. We are out for the kids. And that's why we're all here. And I think that's why we're all here to this late hour, almost 9 o'clock. But again, if I missed you, Johnny Cow, I see out there. If I missed you, I apologize. Lots of things I could say. But before I close, I would like to just introduce my family, because there's the one sitting over there. My lovely wife, Mary Kate. She's put up with a lot over 30 years. And then we have my son Carl and his wife Lisa. Carl, raise your hand, please. And their two girls, Claire and Caroline, they live in Montville. My favorite daughter, Kimberly. And their daughter, Addison, who spoke before. It is a special evening, and I'm going to be sat through enough already, and I know I want to be brief. But I think the whole thing, if you can take away one thing, is we as a board have an awesome responsibility. Awesome. And that awesome responsibility is to take care of our children. Because our children is where it's at. We have a responsibility to make sure they get provided the best education possible. And that's why we have our administrative team. We have a lot of outstanding teachers in our district. You heard some of Judy tonight, and she was outstanding before she retired. And they are really outstanding. We have an outstanding group of supervisors and administrators. Parents are very helpful. The kids are super. But we always have to keep upgrading. We've got to move ahead. We can't be go backwards. I think that everyone assumes that, I thought I was dying. Everyone said they were so sorry. Not that I know of. But I think that I'm so proud of these 30 years. I wish I could say it better. But I come to the meetings, I come prepared. I miss very few meetings because I took on a responsibility, and I think that it's something that when you get elected, you have to take. I guess I forgot somebody. Is Rita Seidner? Is that the note there? Someone gave me a note. Huh? Oh, I wrote it down. Carmela, former board member, Carmela Novi. Carmela was on board for many years, and she was scheduled to become president, but unfortunately some personal, she stepped down. And so Carmela, I did pretty good if I just missed Carmela. It's pretty good. But getting back to what I was saying,
Charlie.
I want to challenge the board. It's important to go through what now? Challenge my mother here, yeah.
Judy Ratner.
Who?
Judy Ratner.
Judy Ratner. Oh, Judy Ratner, hiding behind Toby Cohen there. Judy, I apologize. I did pretty good. All right? Anybody I missed who wants to get introduced? But on a very serious note, I want to thank my family. I want to thank my colleagues up there, administrators, clients, former superintendents here, current superintendents, school boards, for all of your support. And I think our district, as you leave here tonight, can really understand why we're here to talk. Because we do an outstanding job, and I think the Board of Ed takes a lot of that credit, even though it's really the administration is doing the job. I'd like to thank one person, especially up here. As Tom mentioned, he's only been here 2 years, but our business administrator, Steve's son. I'd like her to put this in the minutes, but she won't. She never does anything I ask. But she's been here for 8 or 9 years, and has really brought this district a long way in the area of facilities and school buses and things of that nature. And I thank you, the team, and I thank you, Tom, for 2.5, and you haven't lost me. I'll still come in. I go by that road too. Okay? But ladies and gentlemen, I again profoundly thank you, and I thank all the speakers, and it's been a good run, and I thank you very much, and I really do. Thank you so much.
You will be missed. We will miss you terribly. But after that, we just adjourn the
The
meeting.
operative word there was miss.
Adjourn the meeting. Adjourn the meeting, Charlie.
Some of